kind. So I'm excited because Krish has a great session we're going to talk about right now. Yeah. So he's going to talk about winning in any type of market. So we're going to share some great strategies.
Apparently we're going to up our game too after
we
Mr.
are.
Cardone.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So without further ado, Mr. Krish Dhokia, our SVP. All right, brother. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, the first half was absolutely incredible. So my name is Krish. I do marketing. Thank you. Good night. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of folks out there talking about AI today. So again, my name's Krish Dhokia, SVP of Marketing, Business Development at Kind Lending. One of the greatest jobs I've ever had, by the way, because you get to do things like this. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm not a cowboy. Have 2 beautiful children, an amazing wife, and if Austin's here, go Dogs. I'm the biggest Georgia Bulldog fan that did not go to the University of Georgia, by the way. So I'm one of those guys. But what we're going to talk about today is personal branding. It is something that we talked about a lot, if you didn't know, in the first half of this show. Grant, Manny, Glenn, Captain Charlie Plumb, they all have personal brands. Some of them have millions of followers, which is pretty incredible. But I will say that if you have a huge audience in this crowd, you don't know their names, but they know your name. And I'll give you an example. My 5-year-old son, I'm going to reference my kids all the time, that's my life. But my 5-year-old, picked him up from school last week. He started kindergarten. We're like, he's an extrovert, doesn't have a lot of friends. And so picked him up, and all these kids are like, bye, Liam, see you tomorrow. I was like, man, that's awesome. So I asked him, I was like, hey, who are those kids? Daddy, I don't know. I don't know who they are, but they know me, right? Isn't that a perfect example of our social media lives today? You have 1 million followers, you're not expected to know who those people are. But they know you, and they know your personal brand. Now, mortgage. Let's talk about mortgage, because that's why we're here. Mortgage is likely the unsexiest thing you can market, right? It's not boring. To us, it's really sexy. We're in mortgage. The consumers, your referral sources, not so sexy. What they want from you is you, authenticity. They want to know who you are, right? What are your ambitions? What is your motivation? What are your hobbies? Tell us about your family, your dog even. And dogs and cats, #1 search things on the internet. Post them, right? Your audience needs to find their way back to you. So 2 things we're going to talk about today, and then I'll give you a freebie at the end. So I'm sure you've all seen personal branding guides, super confusing, and marketing plans. We got something for you at the end of this. 1, how do you build your personal brand? Define yourself. I gave you a little bit of bullet points there, right? Ambition, whatever. But get out of your comfort zones, realize who you are. You don't have to be the next person. And guess what? If you are something on social media, you better be that person in real life, right? Don't be this fake pseudo character made up online. Like pretend like you know how to cook, right? I burn toast all the time. My wife and I both don't know how to cook. That's really interesting. PBJ sandwiches all the way around every night. But if you're going to do something, do it well. Now, here's the thing. If you do want to cook online, you can learn to cook with your audience. They'll appreciate that. So try something different. Again, mortgage is the sprinkle that you're inviting people into your social media lives. It's not about social media only, personal branding. I'll give you a perfect example. Define yourself. When I came out on this stage, I told you a couple of things about me. I told you who I am, where I work, my title, my kids, my wife, Georgia Bulldogs. You already know that about me. You might not remember my name when you leave this room today, but you'll remember me, the Indian guy that got on stage that talked about Georgia Bulldogs, winning 3 national championships. Let's go, Dogs. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. So yeah, define yourself. Second, you are marketable. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Grant, Manny, they built their businesses, they built their personal brands. Glenn, they built their businesses, built their personal brand, and now they are marketable. You can start anywhere in the journey. If you are in advanced marketing, you feel like you're advanced, don't tell people that, just keep going. Help others, right? You're marketable all day, every day. There's nothing, I tell people all the time, you know, my parents didn't understand what marketing was. They're like, you should be an accountant, Krishna. You should, a doctor, a lawyer. I'm Indian, right? So that's naturally the progression of career choices that I should have made. But I decided, I have an accounting degree, but I landed in marketing. And what was interesting about that was, you know, I tell people, you know, everything is marketable. Everything around you, from this wall to the floors, everything, every product, every service was marketed. You are not just a mortgage originator. You are a service. That's what you market. You market what you do. Simon Sinek, has anyone heard of Simon? Okay, so he had an experience recently with a mortgage broker. None of you, I hope. But what it was, he's like, man, it was the most incredible experience I've ever had. And the broker marketed himself as his tagline was, I care. That was it. He's like, I care about my client. Simon closes, funds his loan, sits at his house, pops a bottle of champagne probably, celebrates his new home purchase. Same day, he gets a call from his broker, say, hey, congratulations. And he didn't show up at the closing, by the way. Hey, congratulations on the closing. Do you have any referrals? So Simon's like, well, you know what? I'm in this business. He has a big audience. And he says, well, you know, here's the issue. The experience was incredible. I would have given him all of the referrals all day long, but I realized he didn't care, that I was just a number. Be unique and when you're marketing to people, right? Don't just say that you care and don't care. Lastly, we're going to put up a QR code. This is the promise I started with. Those two tactics are one of 10. You can download, go to Google, download personal branding. It's not about which one's the best. This one works. So it's 10 basic personal branding principles. We have an incredible brand here at Kind, would you agree? Yeah. Like the best in the mortgage business, and I'm not biased. But that's only complementary to you and your personal brand. So download those, scan those. There's 2 things you can download. There's also a 2024 marketing plan, because who's ready for 2024? 2023 was weird, right? The 2024 marketing plan is long. It's confusing. It's meant to be that way. It's a flexible marketing plan, because who knows what happens in the mortgage industry, right? You have to be able to pivot. Shortly, in the next week, you'll get invites to webinars that I'm going to be hosting, going through those marketing plans with you. You need your unique marketing plans to activate the strategies with really good tactics next year. So that's what we're going to be covering. So again, that's my time. I really appreciate all of you. The next couple of speakers, absolutely incredible. Thank you, Glenn and Mindy, for putting on such an amazing show.